Hi, I'm Rob Cosman. We're here at Heartland Forest in Niagara Falls, Ontario, Canada. We are just finishing our 9th Purple Heart Project week-long workshop. In case you don't know, this is where we run a 5-day hand-tool workshop. We always bring in 6 or 7 civilians who come in as paying students, and then we invite and host 6 or 7 combat wounded veterans. They come at our expense. We treat them. We work them hard. We run the class from 8 in the morning until 10 or 10:30 at night. And during that time, they learn how to sharpen and use the hand plane. They learn how to cut dovetails by hand. They learn how to cut mortise and tenon joints. And a lot of the tools are donated by the various woodcraft stores throughout the Woodcraft franchise. So a big thank you to them. This is Gary Witt. Now, this is a special guy. Gary is a Vietnam veteran. He has 2 Purple Hearts. Look that up if you don't know what that means. But I've heard his story, and it's pretty amazing. Gary, thank you for your service. Thank you for coming here. Thank you for signing up.
Yeah.
We were glad to have you. You added to the class tremendously. So what I'd like you to do is tell the audience what did it do for you. You've been here for this is the end of our 4th day.
Well, this is quite an interesting time for me. I've had no idea what I was getting into when I put in for this, but I had a friend that had taken the class, and he recommended.
Mention his name because
Richard McGann.
Yeah.
Went to school with him. He and I took the shop in school, and we used some of these tools, but not these tools. Some of the old antique tools, I guess. And he knew I had a love for wood and love for he knew I had 2 Purple Hearts also. So he was the one who recommended I put in for this. And it was quite strange. I had no idea when I put in for it that I was going to get it. But I'm sitting around in an ice cream shop, and I got a call from you, and the guy himself, RobCosman, and just it was quite shocking. And you told me I had been accepted. Well, this week, I mean, the reason that I did put in for it, I work with a lot of other vets that have PTSD and vets in our community that are sometimes just have issues that they can't get along in life, and I try to help them out in all I can, and I basically I'm part of the military of Purple Heart, and I knew that you wanted to get the word out, and so I came along basically to see what this was all about too, and it's been very interesting. I mean, I learned what dovetails are. I mean, how to. I knew very little, and I had no idea I was going to get all these tools to work with, and I learned how to sharpen them, and it's just been a fantastic time with meeting the other vets and hearing their stories too. That they came along with me, and we've formed a camaraderie that it's a bond there that just looks like it'll last a lifetime. You know, some of the guys that we've met, and I just wish that all the veterans that have the PTSD and issues with life, if you would look into this, if you like to work with wood in any way, you can't go wrong. I mean, it doesn't cost you anything. You get tools to take home. Rob is so generous with his time and knowledge, and helping us to understand when we can't even get a blade sharp or how to get everything worked out. He works with you real close, and I appreciate all he's done for us, and I'm hoping that there'll be some other vets out there.
Appointment Jake. Oh, and Jake and Dave.
Oh yeah, and Jake, his son. Oh my, yeah, he's been a big help. I mean, all the help you have here has been wonderful. I mean, the people have been walking around to look over my shoulder and ask if I have questions and kind of point us in the right direction. It's been fantastic to work together with all you guys, and it's just been a wonderful experience, and I hope that other vets will put in for it and come meet you and find out what it's all about.
Yeah, and don't forget Luther.
Yeah, Luther you didn't get to meet him, but I did talk to him on the phone, and contacted me by email with all the information that I needed to send him, and he's been right there.
Oh yeah. Mr. Detail.
Mr. Detail. Yeah, he wanted everything. He wanted everybody to send all their information in at a certain time and get it all back to pictures and patches. And I like the.
Where are you, by the way?
Yeah.
Which one are you?
I'm the right here, the 2nd Battalion, 4th Marines Golf Company, and I sent you also that Purple
Right.
Heart one. So, it's just it's great that you got all the people from all that are here together, have their patches on the apron
And they sign the back.
on the back, and so it's something that you'll keep, I'm sure. And,
We get a new one every 6 months when we teach the next series of classes. So these are going to go on the wall. A lot of fun memories.
well, I'm hoping that you keep this up, and that other vets will feel the same camaraderie we felt here, and the same love that we felt being with you guys, and what we've learned, and can take it back. And anytime I get stressed out, I'll get out in the shop, and now I've got more detail to work on. Now, rather than just machinery, I got something I can have to think about before I make the cuts.
Do you want to share any of your military background at all? What happened as far as where you served?
Well, I was in the I Corps in Vietnam in 1968 and 69,
And for people that wouldn't know, what was going on in Vietnam in 1968 and 69?
well, it was at the end of the Tet Offensive. It was 67, 68. The Tet Offensive was finishing up, and I got there right at the tail end of the Tet, and I was part of the replacements, I guess you might say, for a lot of the people who got killed, a lot of soldiers who got killed, Marines, and so I went in there, not knowing. I was just, young guy.
18?
No, I was 20 when I went in,
20?
and had no idea what I was getting into though. But when I got into the country, of course, I was gung ho, so I volunteered to be point man for the company, and so anytime we went from one hill to the next, I was one leading the way, and went on recon missions up in North Vietnam, and that's where one of my wounds happened. We'd been in North Vietnam side of the river, and we'd just come back to the south side, and there was a Marine Bronco plane flying around, and we thought he had, he knew we were there, because we were on radio silence. We had not supposed to be contacting anybody on radio. But he flew down, and we were all just kind of sitting back on the river waiting for the helicopter to come pick us up, and he buzzed down, and we thought we, gave him a thumbs up, and he gave us a thumbs up. Well, as he went to pull up, there was a NVA group right across the river from us, and they were getting ready to hit us, but they saw a chance to shoot the plane down, so they shot the bottom of the plane, and he thought that we were part of the NVA group, so he circled around and dropped everything he had on us, white phosphorus, miniguns, and plus we were getting shot at by the NVA, so we were kind of trapped between our own people and the enemy. And the 13 people were there, all of us got wounded. And of course I had white phosphorus burn on the back of my leg and shrapnel in my leg, and we went on back, and they sewed me up and sent me back out in the bush a few days later. Didn't even get to see any hospital time, but then I was carrying bandages around to change the bandages on this white phosphorus burn on my leg, and I had a whole backpack full. And about a month or so later, we were going to get engaged in combat. We'd gotten socked in, and they dropped chow into us, a pallet of chow. Sea rats is what we got. And they missed the perimeter. They hit way outside. We heard it crash in the jungle. They dropped 2 more pallets, and they hit right in our perimeter, so we were okay. We got those. Well, they sent 50 of us out to go get that other pallet of chow that was outside the perimeter. And the 50 of us went out. We found the pallet of chow. Everything was stripped off of it. So we just started following the trash through the jungle, and we found, caught up with the NVA and engaged them. We had a battle that evening just before dark, and we killed 7. And so we were so far away at that time from the main companies up on top of the hill, and we were kind of down in this valley, and so we decided to set up an ambush over those bodies at night, and so they left 5 of us over as ambush, and 45 of the guys went just a ways up the hill and camped. And we were sitting there over the bodies, and it was so dark that night you couldn't see your hand in front of your face. It was like just total darkness. Clouds all blocked the moon and everything. And we sat there all night. They did come in, we could hear them, but we couldn't shoot, because if we'd have given that position away, gunfire, they would have seen a muzzle blast and they would have been able to kill us. So we held off shooting, but we went back up to where the 45 guys were, had breakfast, turned around, went right back down the same trail. And I was kind of tired from being up all night on ambush. So I had a young guy who was there. He was learning to be point. So I had him in front of me. And he was walking in a trail, the same trail we just come up. And he walked around a bend in the trail, and there was 3 gooks bent over putting a rocket, tripwire, and everything in a trailer. And instead of shooting at them, he just shot up in the air and turned around and ran into me. It was just like, instead of, he just, I guess it scared him so bad. And when he did, he knocked me down, and of course they're shooting over top of us, and I'm laying there, and we engaged in battle again. We started moving up and doing fire team maneuvers, and in the jungle, because you don't see too far, just a little ways out. And we were advancing, fire team maneuvers going out. And we were wasting a lot of ammo because everybody's shooting at trees and stuff, basically. And so they had said, ceasefire, just hold your fire. Because we had just been engaged in battle the day before, so everybody was trying to hold on to the ammunition because we were running low. So, ceasefire. And I'm laying there on the ground. Everything is as quiet as it can be. And I'm laying in a prone position. And I see an NBA soldier just 30 yards from me get up. And he's got 2 grenades in his hand. And they're wooden handled shotguns, they call them. And when you pull a string on them, they're going to go off. And he wasn't looking at me, he's looking over here somewhere, but I was the last one on this end, so I knew there was nobody else past me. And I didn't know what he was looking at, so I'm looking to see what he's looking at, and all of a sudden he looks right at me and throws those grenades. And I shot him before the grenades got there, but the grenades rolled up, and I don't know where they went, so I just balled up the ball and kind of hid behind my flak jacket. But it's just like one of them was coming right at me, like it was almost hitting me in the face, but they went off, and they're more directional grenades. I didn't get anything but a little piece of shrapnel through my ear. I jumped up and ran over behind this tree, and there was the same guy that was in front of me that morning that ran over me. He was hiding behind a tree. So I was trying to be brave and tell him, I said, look, you can't be hiding, we got to fight, so we back in firing again. So I told him, I'm moving up to that point. You come up right behind me. So I move on up, and he's firing, and I'm moving up. And by the time I got up there, grenades just started dropping everywhere. They're just like raining grenades. And he came up and he didn't see this grenade. He fell down on the grenade. And his flak jacket was unzipped partially down here, and the grenade went off through part of his lungs. And he kind of blew up in the air, but it didn't go anywhere. He was still there. And I felt his pulse, and he still had a pulse. So I left everything and took him and fire team carrier back to the Cosman. And when I got back to the Cosman says, where's your backpack? It's got all those bandages in it. I said, well, I left it up front. He said, well, I've got to have your bandages because everybody's getting wounded. So I said, all right, I'll go back and get it. So I went back up to the front of the lines, and the line had pulled back about 30 to 35 yards. So I went up to the machine gun, and I asked him, I said, can you give me some fire? I'm going to go down and get the backpack. He's shooting, and I run down, crawl around, and got a hold of the backpack. And just as soon as I turned to go up the hill, RPG ran, I landed right where I was at. And if I hadn't moved when I did, it would hit me in the middle of the back. Like by me turning, it hit on the ground and came back up and went in the hip and side, and had a piece of metal all the way to the bone. And so I was able to crawl back up the hill, and I gave somebody else a backpack to take them up. We were trying to figure out, we were laying on the ground there laughing about how you can put a bandage on your butt in the middle of a battle.
Laughing.
Laughing. And basically, it was crazy. And I got up and we were walking up the hill. I almost had to use because my pants were torn all to pieces and blood running down everywhere. And I had to use my rifle basically as a cane. It's kind of like walking with it, but we walked up the hill, and the rest of the company was coming to us, but the 50 of us was trying to get back to them. Marines don't retreat, but we were marching backwards up the hill to catch up with the rest of the company. And when we had the medevac, this guy that fell on the grave. We had the time on a cable to send him up, but he was going in and out of consciousness. And I saw him later on the hospital ship, and he said, I can't believe y'all got out of there. He said it was just, you were surrounded. He said when he got shot twice going up on the cable.
Really?
And he said that we were surrounded by the NBA. We got back up on the side of the ridge, and where the rest of the company came to us, and I was setting off claymores. I was the last man up the hill, so I was setting off claymores as we went up. And some of them went off, some of them didn't, because people would use the C4 out of them to cook their chow. Well, as we got to the perimeter where they were setting up, they dug a hole, foxholes and things around, and I went inside the perimeter. They put me in a basket. Helicopter dropped the basket in. They put me in the basket, medevaced me out. I went right by that machine gun. He was right on the front, and by the hole. I walked right by the hole he was in, and two other guys were there with him. And no sooner than I'd gone off in the basket, a friendly fire hit right in the middle of his hole, and they killed all of them that was in that hole. And I didn't find out about it until a few days later, but and I ended up, they sent me to a hospital ship. Well, first of all, I got to the hospital in the rear, and they gave me a spinal tap because, they couldn't, won't put me to sleep, so they kept me awake, and they were operating on me. These two doctors asked me, said, someone said you walked to the helicopter. And I said, yes, I did. And they said, we don't see how you could walk up to the helicopter because all the ligaments in your leg were severed. We don't even know how you could stand up, much less walk to the helicopter. And they were looking at each other, and I said, well, it must have been a miracle of sorts. And I told you the story about
going up the hill.
On
the path.
Yeah, and that was challenging, but I promised God that I would try to live my life for Him, and I think that was part of Him showing me that you can do more with your life if you just turn it over to Him. Just the hospital. I spent a month on the hospital ship, and ended up coming back as a supply sergeant in the NCOIC of troops in the rear, I ended up my career in Okinawa as a rifle instructor, and it was a good time in the Marines, but I was happy to come home, I guess, and raise my son, and got married, and we my wife and I have been married for 48 years, and we've been trying to do the best we can. Of course, we have issues with, she doesn't understand someone with PTSD as much as a lot of times we've gone through things in life. But I think God has been a big part of my life, and because of that, that's the only thing that kind of keeps me stable. Now this is woodworking, if I can concentrate on this, I don't have time to think about all the other things. That's another thing about coming together with these other vets. They talked about the things that they went through, and it makes you feel like it wasn't so bad what you had, But if anybody's served in combat, they've got a story to tell, and they've got what they saw in a real time that it sticks with you. When you see people get killed or die, and you're trying to help them, we're trying to save them, and you're trying to be part of your team, and it's traumatic on anybody, and so it sticks with you for a lifetime. I believe that. So things like this get your mind off of that, and I
That's
think
what we hope.
Yeah, I think you're saving a lot of people's lives with this. You know.
Yeah, we have a lot of help. We have a lot of help, and more all the time. It's amazing how many people, when they find out, they get to know you guys, they want to do something. From bringing cupcakes to us
Oh yeah,
and cookies.
that was great. Community is a bit.
Gary, thank you for your service.
Thank you, Rob.
Thank you for coming, and I certainly appreciate it. And I know you're going to find me more because Richard found you. And
Yeah, well, I'm
We'll
sure
find
we're
many
going
more.
to
This'll
work on
work.
that. I hope you guys will come to try it out.
Richard McGann, thank you for doing this. Appreciate your efforts. It's working. Thanks, Gary.
Mhm.